It's your boy Smurfyy back again with the new Marvel Rivals Season 0, well, end of Season 0 updated tier list. We are 4 days away from Season 1 for Marvel Rivals. I've been playing this game a good minute. I have 41 hours currently on the game, so I have a larger grasp of the game as it is now, and I've been playing more ranked as of like the last week and a half or so. So I finally got to gold 2. I don't know if I'll be able to get to gold 1 or flat, but I'll probably be more likely to start getting there once the new season starts. We'll have more time. But who knows? Maybe I'll hit it. I have work stuff though, so maybe not. But anyway, I want to do an update tier list because after obviously doing the initial tier list, sorry, I am getting over the flu. My coughs linger. Oh, so we're going to do an update tier list. So they already have these 4 characters for the new Season 1 update coming. However, I don't know when they're releasing them. If they're doing all 4 at once. I think they're doing all 4 at once, but there was a leak I saw that they're doing 2 and 2. I'll probably project where they'll be. I know 3 of the movesets kind of already. We don't know the things. I haven't seen the things leak yet for his moveset. That'll be in a couple days. I'm gonna wait until then, but I really want to get a video out now because again, I have a lot of work stuff and I have to travel for work over the weekend. So let's kind of get into it. So again, this is gonna be coming from a perspective of mainly. I'll try to do kind of a mixture because I think that's kind of what I did basically on the last video versus what I said I was gonna do. I'll do a mixture. I'll make sure to note like specific things of like, oh, this is like a public stomper. It's not gonna be when you're gonna want to run ranked, etc. Things like that. Situational uses, I'll make that noted, but I'll probably still rank them in accordance to what you probably want to be playing in ranked and what you probably will see moving forward in the meta. So for S tier, we still currently have Hawkeye and Hela here. I might put in this order Hela and then Hawkeye, just because Hela has an escape, and she also has some CC with her what it's called. And I think it also interrupts ultimates. I didn't really look into that more, but there's times where I've been knocked at ults as well as people I play with. They've been knocked at ults because of one of her abilities, which is extremely useful. Also, I think she just has a better ultimate. Their ultimates are both really good, but I think her ult is just a little bit better as far as like being able to hit people globally. His is more avoidable than Hela's, in my opinion. Also, just more consistent and quick damage. But basically, you're not going wrong with either of these two. There's not like, don't trust me when I said that I prefer Hela. If you pick Hawkeye, go with it. But I think from what I've seen performance-wise, and I think just overall kit, I like Hela better. But yeah, they're gonna get nerfed. So Season 1, we'll see those nerfs coming out. I think tomorrow. So I'll be curious to see what they decide to do. I think for Hawkeye, it's mainly just draw speed is just way too fast for what he can do damage-wise. It's either slow his draw speed, maybe. It's probably the best thing I think of instead of hurting the damage. But that's like mainly my thing. Maybe make him a little bit slower and less mobile. Hela is a little harder for me because like I feel like if you take away her damage, she kind of becomes more like Storm and just there. So I'm not told, maybe nerf her like her escape a bit, maybe. That way she's less mobile as well. Like the mobility factor for both these are pretty high for the damage they do, and like the difficulty is not that high for these characters. Obviously, there's a difference between obviously like the top tier players and like the bottom tier players, but the difficulty able to master these characters isn't to me as hard. Let's say it's like a Spider-Man, for example. These two are my S tier characters for Duelist. I do also have Vanguards for S tier. Strange is definitely S tier. I think that's it for tanks in S tier. Because he has so much versatility. He does probably the most damage out of all the tanks. He also has the best versatility for the team between his portal and his ult. It's a stun. It's honestly a little bit stronger than Brutes, in my opinion. And he can do a ton of damage across multiple characters. And like, no matter if he's a tank, going against a tank, duelist, or a support, again, doesn't matter. He's potentially winning any 1v1 because of his abilities and his shield. and like just he's dominating right now in pick rate and win rate, and like in terms of pick rate for a reason. Like it takes a he has a higher difficulty to be able to like really master the character, but he is such a strong character right now. Honorable mention, I will get into those later for A tier. There's a couple A tier characters that I think are really good still and can be very competitively viable, but they're just not. They don't have the ceiling and like the maybe the over. They're not overall like better things than Strange. Strange does everything really well. There's nothing he does not do. But yeah, my other S tier character for the thing I don't know, so we'll just put him. I imagine he'll be somewhere cross between like a Hulk and what Hulk does, and maybe what like Cap does. He's not very fast, so actually maybe not. Um, yeah, maybe like he's gonna be slow, but I think he's gonna be kind of brawly. But I really don't have a place for him. I think versus he's probably gonna be like a bruiser. So for now, I'm just gonna throw him in. I'm not even do it. I don't know why I even thought I was gonna do it. I'm just not doing it. I think he even said earlier I was not gonna do a thing because I don't know his kid. So look at me trolling myself. Okay, sorry for your time. Anyway, back to scheduled programming. We're gonna go to supports. There's only one right answer for the S tier supports. It's Snow and it is Mantis. There is no question that these two are the best supports in the game. They get ran the most out of any team. The reason why Moonstone doesn't get picked as much is because she gets banned. Because she does strong damage for a strategist. She can heal and attack at the same time, basically with some of her hit. And her ultimate is by far the best ultimate in the game. Or like you probably could argue top 3. If you want to argue maybe like Strange's ult or like maybe Loki's pretty good, and so Groot, etc. There's a couple characters that are really good ults. But because of her ability to make her team basically unkillable, while also if you're on PC more so than on controller, you can do the flip. You're basically not losing any healing from that flipping back and forth. So obviously that's very circumstantial, PC versus controller. But if you're playing on PC, that's obviously I'm going to go with more so for your survivability. Luna Snow is more like the better healer of the two, but they're both just in a class of their own. Because again, Mantis has super strong damage. They both also have each have a stun. That's very effective and can basically determine if they live or die from a dive from one of these divers that are down here in this lower portion here, as you can see. Not to mention they have just so much versatility between like Mantis has a way to increase her damage, increase damage of her teammates, heal them while not sacrificing her ability to be able to do damage to the other team either. That's important to note because I don't think people know that it's how valuable that is. That she can just press the button and she can still focus on doing damage while she's doing that, as long as they're in their field of view. And there are also 2 different buttons. You don't have to worry about it. Luna Snow kind of the same case. You really don't have to. You do have to like aim your base heal. Then like I think it's RB on controller. I don't know what is PC because that I don't even know what it's called on my head, but it's like the bright bumper one where it shoots out like a little clap and does like multiple shots out. Again, you still have to aim to get your heals, but ultimately you're just out healing and down damage. And not to mention, I like her stun a little bit better than Station for Mantis. So anyway. Yeah. I think these are basically your S tier characters. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and put other characters. There's some characters that could be borderline close to S tier. I would say, as far as other characters that could be S tier with like a buff or 2, you're probably looking at Magneto right here. You're probably looking at Punisher, be close, and Psylocke to me would be also really close. They have really good and Winter Soldier. They're all really close because they have really good abilities, really good ultimates. They're all just really good characters. Overall, there's not like much holes in them at all. Like no holes between these characters, and so like it's really close. But there's just an obvious tier gap, so they have to be an S tier. So I'm keeping that stipulation in place. Now, I'm gonna get this one out the way because I'm gonna go to A tier. There's one character I had on my tier list that maybe I misjudged because I didn't mention the character at the time. That is Wolverine. Wolverine is definitely an A tier character. Is he niche? Kind of. because his damage is a percentage damage. So he's great against tanks. He has a leap to close in. He's got a strong ult. He can survive. He has good survivability when he leaps in. So any good dive character has to have survivability for them to get out if they need to. And he provides that. Do I think, is it still niche? Yes. But I think in a top tier Wolverine, you're seeing him run in like these pro league gameplays and like all like the top some of these top ranked players, cause he does well with tanks. He counters like Magneto, which gets ran a lot, and honestly Groot. So it's like, yeah, because especially Magneto's shield, you can't, it doesn't block melees, so kind of cooked if he gets in the gap. So I do have him in S tier. He is A tier. He is niche though. Again, he's not going to do well against any of these characters up here. A good character here will smoke a Wolverine any day. Into the same level, just because the damage here is way better. And then his, again, he has a really high cooldown on I think it's leap or something. So that's also another thing. One of his better abilities is a higher cooldown, and these characters really don't suffer from, besides his portal, which again still really good. Don't really suffer from those cooldown, like a move that's like a super long cooldown line. The game. So Wolverine A tier. I'm throwing Namor A tier as well. His kit is really solid. He's a projectile hero, so it isn't as good as like a hit scan like for Hela. That's also the reason why Hela is better than Hawkeye. It's hit scan versus like projectile. But Namor has really good turrets. He has like a little bubble. He can survive any dive on him as well. He's in the back line, so he's not have to be hyper aggressive. You can get picks with him. He does good damage. His ult isn't like the greatest ult, but it's still really good ult. He has a knockback. It does solid damage at knockdown, so it's got CC. It's a really good team ultimate that you can combo with or layer with between any of these characters, whether it's like the Strange ult, for example. Let's say you get ulted on my Strange. Like, he bursts his damage. Anybody survives, you just get the whale out of the whale from just like, what's that movie called? Free Willy. Just Free Willy. Like, come on. Like, that ult is a great ult in combination with some of these ult, with Groot or Strange or anybody that has any lockdown or any of these like capture point objectives to get people off the point. It's great. It is good. It's not like elite like these guys' ults, but it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Another character I'm gonna put in A tier will be Moon Knight, because he does some crazy damage with it. It's all based around his onks, but he does insane damage in large groups. So if you clump at the wrong time, boy, he is cooking your team. He is cooking your team. A good Moon Knight is a hard thing to deal with. He has an escape. He has his own type of the onks. He's got team up, which isn't great. I'm not gonna lie, team up is not that good. Okanaga is not a big game changer in my opinion. From what I've seen, it does not seem like it's like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? But it is like there, it's a thing. But he's A tier. He's not better than these two. I don't think he's better than these two, because he has a role, but I mean he's a niche role, but he can't do his role. Oh, maybe. Actually, I'm gonna try to put them in order, because honestly, I'm gonna do that. I'll try and put them in order as I go, so that way it makes more sense. Oh, then we're gonna go ahead and I don't need to talk to him about Moon Knight. I think we know it. He's hard to deal with. He's annoying to deal with. He does damage. He's good. His ult kind of whack. Psylocke, also borderline S tier character. Better than Namor in my opinion. She has that like ability. She has that invisibility. She can get out of pretty much anything. Her ultimate is better than Namor's ult, in my opinion. It can definitely kill a lot better than Namor's. Is more of like a CC thing in my opinion, versus like damage or finalizing kill. She can just get a kill outright off her ult. So she is probably the next best duelist between these two. Just because she has consistent damage, she doesn't need to dive either, but she can. She can dive the back line. Great character. Annoying to deal with as well. Just impossible to kill. If you have a good Psylocke, it is hard to lock her down. Punisher, also A tier. I will have him over Wolverine and Moon Knight because he does have the turret on defense, which if you don't deal with it, kind of cooked. Not to mention his turret also has like helpful other side, maybe unintended hidden mechanics of it being able to avoid other ultimates and act as like an additional shield for himself. Make him honestly decently tanky. not much to be said on him. Need to be said outside of that. His ultimate also insane, can be done, can do some insane things, and his shotgun is just tough. It is tough. It is like early days Overwatch Reaper shotgun, just boom, boom, dead. Nothing. She has range too. He can do it all. He can just do it all. He's just a solid option to basically play. If you don't know who to play, roll a Punisher, you're fine. Next, I have on my list going to be Winter Soldier. I will have him. Ooh, honestly, hot take maybe over the Namor, because I think his ultimate is just obviously if there's people playing with skill, it's gonna be easy to get rid of. But in ranked, you're not gonna be playing the top most talent every single time. This guy can win you a game. I've seen it. It's happened to me multiple times. His ultimate can be a game changer. I think I really lost the game because this guy had an ultimate like 3 times, and all 3 times he was able to either clear the point or delay the team by himself. Insane gameplay. If you have a good Winter Soldier, you're probably winning your game. I do like him better than Namor, and Punisher is kind of like, again, realistically, I think these two are probably better, like at the top most gameplays, just because of the damage they do without their ultimates. But I have his ult is such a game changer that these two I have down here. But realistically, I get it. Next on the list, we're gonna go ahead and go with maybe not A tier. I think that actually covers our A tier duelists, because there is a drop from these, in my opinion, because of the kits and like how these work. So we're gonna go ahead and do tanks. So A tier tanks, we got Magneto, obvious reasons. Large shield, has a good power up with Scarlet Witch, honestly. Ultimate's also really good. The M Meteorite is a really good ultimate for like finishing off some kills, getting group damage, and also blocking some ultimates. So overall, a really good character, and it does really good damage. Probably does some of the best damage outside of Strange for tank. I have him there as well, and then I'm gonna put Groot maybe ahead of him by 1 spot. Kind of depends on comp, honestly. You're seeing I need to run more by most teams versus Groot because of the damage. Groot's based off his walls, kind of, but I feel like with his CC in the most normal ranked games, he's gonna be the more impactful character for a lot of players. I don't think you're gonna see a ton. You're not gonna see a lot of elite Magneto play, and your team's not gonna always play well behind Magneto because usually you don't know who you're gonna have on the team. So I think he's just easier to play around versus like a Magneto. Getting in the walls are just really great for Groot, and it's got a nice little lock there. There's been times I've been ruined. Ruined. Other tank, I'm going to put. Now I'm putting Hulk here. I couldn't tell you why though. Can't tell you. I just know he gets banned. He's hard to deal with. I've yet to play against a really good Hulk. I played against some decent Hulks where I see the vision. I get the vision. The Gamma team up is great for a lot of players. I'm putting him here. I'm just throwing him here. I'm just leap of faith throwing him in here. I can't delve into it. I just know he's him. I haven't seen it yet. Most people that play Hulk are still brain dead. They just run in and dash in. They don't have any rhyme or reason to what they're doing. I think that's more a product of the people playing him versus him actually being like trash. But I really want to put him in B tier because he is very niche in my opinion. I think he's great in dive comps, but that's about it. But then again, who's my next one? Who is my sleeper? Who I will put actually above Hulk? Thor. Listen, I think there's gonna be a meta shift at some point, and Thor is gonna be S tier. He's gonna be S tier. He's guns to be in two tank comps. Thor should be ran at all times. He should be ran because he can dive without the least punishment possible. This man can get health and shield back in chunks. So he is so hard to kill and deal with just because of his Thor force and his awakening. It is unbearable. He's unbearably oppressive. He's unbearably oppressive, especially in any like ranked level. If you have a good Thor in any of those ranked matches at any level, Mother of God, you have to focus. it's a whole ordeal every time. Every time he dies, I dreaded it, especially as a heal, as a support strategist. God, it is. I can't explain it. It's just like getting skull fucked, you know. That's the only thing I can figure out. It's just like it's a masterclass. It is honestly a treat. If you haven't already seen it. Oh, I did forget, man. Actually, have to then I'm going to put in tank for A tier cap. Just kidding. Not doing that. And the next one I'm going to do is Penny Parker. I am throwing in I'm gonna put Venom in A tier. Again, another good dive character. I do think I'll have him over. I have him over Hulk in terms of like your average rank gameplay. You're gonna get better returns on Venom versus like the top tier like play of Hulk. Like at the highest levels of ranks, you'll probably see better Hulks than Venoms. You should probably see more Hulk than Venom. But Venom is just really good. He has good escape. He has a great shield. Does decent damage, and he's able to track down anybody who's trying to run and finish off a kill. He's there. Solid character, not much to say. Got some of the best skins in the game. Yeah, so A tier. Next, we're going to. I think that honestly does it for. Yeah, that does it for tanks in A tier. We're gonna go ahead and go to healers. This is where you'll see Adam Warlock, A tier. He has some decent tech with his I don't know what is on PC, but his left trigger into the auto for the auto cancel. His cocoon is honestly, he has no escape, but he has a cocoon, so he can still, like, even if he dies, he's not completely out of a team fight essentially. If even if he gets dove early, he is a pretty good like chain heal. And then he also has his soul tie, which spreads all that damage, and it also acts as a heal as well. So he's a pretty decent second or third in some comps healer. So, and his ultimate can be pretty game changing if done at the right time. Usually, it's better when you have a team that you're communicating with, whether it's in party, it's in Discord, game chat, whatever. He's definitely being ran at higher levels, but he also provides pretty decent damage for what a strategist provides. Solid character overall, like him. Then I'm putting in Rocket for obvious reasons because of the utility. He has the best utility out of all the remaining strategists between his ultimate, drives damage boost. He has the revive function that's kind of similar to Warlock's ult. That's his ult, and that's just his base ability. He's also just hard to kill because of his dash. That can go vertical, side. It's a really good escape tool. He has two already in the tank. So rockets are hard to kill, and not to mention he has that extra perk to help out with Punisher and Star Lord. Actually, I forgot Star Lord. My fault. I need to add him in here. I'm sorry. I fumbled the bag here. Yeah, he's there. He's getting banned. I mean, if you're getting banned in the pro circuit, you got it. His ult, disgusting. He has really good damage overall. He's not like some flashy character, but he also has a good pair up with Rocket as well, so that helps as well. Not to mention, I think he's also part of the Warlock. The Adam Warlock change up. Oh no, he doesn't have the Rocket. He has the Adam Warlock where he can cocoon, so you can basically almost get he's not delayed on his revive either. So if he dies in team fight, he's not really dead for at least one every cooldown. I think it's like 70 seconds or so. Also nice. I think he's also just overall universally better than these two because his ult is the best out of these remaining two here. But he also has good damage overall. He can shoot from distance. He's again niche, and his ultimate is not as strong as Lord's. So that's why. I think I would have Rocket still under Warlock. Rocket's healing isn't as good as Warlock's heal, in my opinion. It's good. It's more consistent, but Warlock can heal somebody in chunks, and he also heals himself during it as well. Rocket takes a bit more focus on to heal himself if he needs to get health, and it's not as the heal you get from his is not as big as you get from a Warlock heal. But they're both really good. I mean, this is like splitting hairs here. They're pretty equal in my eyes. Basically, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of them. I'm just gonna put them in here because they're in here. Um, these ones are they're pretty much, these healers are all kind of interchangeable based off, probably honestly my opinion, player preference, because you're not really missing much. Each one has its strengths, its downsides and upsides to it. So like I'm gonna put like Loki and Cloak and Dagger here, but I think I have them very similar because Loki's ult is just really good. Probably honestly the best ult out of the healers, I would say, just because it can beat anybody's ult. So you could have potentially 2 Luna Snow ults, 2 Mantis ults, 2 Doctor Strange ults. That is extremely useful. And his domain heal is very good as well. And he also can do a lot of, he can do a decent amount of damage where people are running Loki specifically to do more damage and healing in those 3 healer lineup. So it shows you I think he'll become more part of the meta as we start seeing nerfs and changes on strategists. I don't know if we will or not, but because I don't think anything is out that would suggest that. But if he gets any buff, he might go to, if he gets any small buff, he'll go to S tier. Cloak and Dagger is also really good. Cloak and Dagger's ultimate is probably the weaker and more like Adam's is kind of circumstantial, because it's still a good heal and dot damage, but it's not going to be super game changing. I primarily main Cloak and Dagger, and the best use I have it is usually as a counter ult. So like anybody like from usually like a Star-Lord, Punisher, maybe even a Namor, honestly, like, or Hela. I just, if you layer over the dash, it acts as a pretty good counter to any damage you're being taken, as well as throwing the bubble over it, or even extra healing for protection. Still very good. I mean, Cloak does decent damage, and he has that veil he throws out that helps like shred some tanks, which is very valuable in a meta that is dictated by Doctor Strange, basically. The damage isn't crazy though. It's not like, it is like no aim needed really. Just mean in the general direction. And same with the heal, but again, like their heal is dedicated right now. Most of their healing comes from the bonus that they get for 15% right now for season 0. That's why they're getting a buff, because once that season 0 buff is gone, that heal is going to be brutal. The dagger, it's already hard as it is to do her auto heal. It really is your bubble and your veil, your light veil. So she needs the buff to be able to play, to be able to be usable for next few seasons. But she doesn't have a buff. Now, will it be an uptick in healing? I'll be curious to see. I'm assuming they'll probably do that. Even then, though, like the Golden Dagger's getting very low play compared to these other healers, because the versatility from these 3 is better than what he and him provide them. And then their ultimate's not nearly as good as theirs, and their healing is not like, I say their Golden Dagger's healing is probably gonna be better than these 3. But it's not enough to the point where you're like, when you have these 2 already, one of these 2 in your lineup, like you might as well just have one of these 3 here. You're not missing a ton of healing that you would need otherwise. Especially if you run 3 healers, then you really don't even need Cloak and Dagger. Because again, no versatility in the kit on it. I main Cloak and Dagger. I feel more comfortable than any other characters here, because again, the heal makes it so I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff as far as aiming and stuff. I can just make sure I'm just laying out the dagger heal, and I can pretty much still target who I wanted to go to. However, then also the issue is like if you're trying to clear out objectives like a penny mine nest, or like the turrets for Namor, things like that, you have, it's hard. One, you don't, especially the penny nest, you do not do any damage with dagger. You do 0. So I have to switch to Cloak to be able to do anything to that. And that one puts me in a position where I'm not healing my team, or it puts me in a spot where I'm either having to sit there and like aim at that area, because if I look anywhere else, I'm gonna be hitting my other teammate or an enemy because of the locking feature on it. So it's a perk, but it's also a downside to some things. Which is why, again, if I'm probably gonna go, if it's not me, I probably say you should probably pick one of these 3 healers. But for me, I still prefer Cloak and Dagger over any of these other 3, just for my comfortability. But yeah, these heroes are pretty much all of these are pretty much interchangeable, honestly. Then the next one is probably Jeff. Jeff's still good. I mean, he's still good. His ult's annoying. It's not like powerful, but it's just annoying to deal with. But his healing is good. He can do decent damage. It's not decent. It's just annoying damage. That he can still like he can win some 1v1 just because of his ability to keep healing himself with his bubbles and do decent, consistent damage. So he's still A tier. I wouldn't put him in B tier because you're not, again, you're losing stuff by not using these four, but he's still a good character. Like if you want to run Jeff and main Jeff, I feel like you could run main Jeff in most levels. Obviously, when you get to the higher levels, it's gonna be really hard to do that, but it's not impossible based off this kit. The damage isn't nearly as good as these two, though, obviously, or the ultimate. So again, you could probably still do it, but you might get one by your team running Jeff. That should do it for A tier. Going to B tier. So I'm putting Black Panther, Iron Fist, and Magic here. I think, and actually not in this order. I'll probably put them in this order. So I have Black Panther and Magic. One, honestly, they're really good. They work well with Psylocke because of the para. If in some metas you need to be able to dive the back line, these are probably going to be your best three. Your best three options because again, these guys can't really dive characters in the back line. So if you need to deal with like an annoying healer, or you need to be able to dive on one of these two, or this guy, they're going to need either a Thor or one of these two to be able to really do the job consistently. They have really good, like, they're really hard to lock down, number one. Number two, they have really good damage. Well, Black Panther especially has probably the best high-end damage out of the three here. Iron Fist is also really hard to deal with and kill, but he's not somebody that you see in the higher levels getting banned or anything like that. He can be dealt with in a lot of cases, especially if you run three healers. It's like he doesn't do enough damage in a quick burst that you're not going to be able to out heal that, or there's not CC that you can't get him with. He has a good parry. It's always good parry. If you honestly, if you're a decent enough player, and you recognize his parry move or when they're going to do a parry move, you can probably guess and pause on a kill to really not give him the shield he needs to be able to continue his assault. But yeah, an Iron Fist is still hard to do with the level though. So he's still respectable in my opinion in B. But I think these two are probably your better choices overall for diving character. Next, I'm going to be putting. Oh, I forgot to put Iron Man. My fault. I know I forgot somebody. Iron Man. Again, I forgot another A tier. He's A tier for me. I'm putting him behind Moon Knight. Because the Gamma buff with him and Hulk is actually really nice. Iron Man can be tough to deal with. There's some really good Iron Man players at higher levels of rank play. He's not getting right at the top play because he's not like very impactful on the objective. I think is my main issue with him. Is he can be doing damage and not help you win the game, which is just interesting because like these two, you'll know when they're there and existing, and they'll influence the game just based off damage. That is not him. His ultimate though is really good. Like it's by far better than Moon Knight's, but like Moon Knight has more consistent damage. He's harder to lock down, in my opinion, than Iron Man. Because he has a grappling, he's a double jump, and a glide. But with that pair up with the Hulk for the Gamma, and not to mention with Strange also being a part of that Gamma buff, he's an A tier. Alright, I completely forgot about him. B tier, I'm also going to be adding Spider-Man. He's hard to play, but he is good. At a high level of play, Spider-Man can be really hard to deal with and really does some very good damage with the right players. You're not going to see a ton of good Spider-Man play, though. You're just not. That's why he's in B tier. His difficulty, and you might as well just use one of these two, maybe even three, honestly. I'm putting I'll put Scarlet Witch here, the back end of B for duelists. She has a really good ultimate, but her damage with her actual like main method of damage is not like crazy. Her stun isn't like insane either. Like but again, like her main level of damage, she gets out damaged by Cloak, by just his Veil, and then boom. Actually, you don't even need to use the Veil. That's the thing. You could just if they both hold RT, you do money with a Cloak. You better be better off almost running Cloak than Scarlet Witch in terms of damage. Now her ultimate is by far better. She's a really good ultimate, but it's also got a really slow startup. So unless you're running Strange and Magneto, I don't see the point in running Scarlet Witch because at least with Strange's portal, that delay can be kind of avoided by the portal onto, so that the reaction they have to react really quick to it, which makes it a little bit harder to avoid. You will see Scarlet Witch ran frequently in ranked. You're not gonna see at the highest levels. Again, the burst damage is way better. You're gonna get more top tier damage from these A tier duelists in these S tier duels, there's just no point in picking Scarlet Witch unless you really want the Magneto team up. Unless you have to really want that. I'm saying you have to really, really want that power up. Your Magneto must be the best Magneto in the world. You'd have to run that team up, especially at the highest levels. She's still a really good like quick play like stomper, probably low level ranked. You could run Scarlet Witch no problem, but once you get to the high levels, people just don't miss. Oh my god! When these two do not miss, pack it up, buddy. Pack it up. This game is not for you. I'm also that should be it for duels for B tier. I'm gonna be putting for tank. I'm putting Penny Parker in B. I think Penny is really good. Don't get me wrong, but she is also very niche. She's good against these dive comps because of her nest. She doesn't do a ton of damage outside of her nest though. That's her mind. So as long as you have a competent team, now of course you have some real dummies out there that run into the mines. Like literally, I had a game where Winter Soldier came out there. I was like, cool, yeah, Winter Soldier. Dude ran out there on what was it called? On an escort mission. I can't remember the name of it. Where you just take the Spider Weaver or web to whatever the checkpoint. This man ran out there, did not check. If you're gonna see a Penny on defense, you should run Penny pretty much mainly on defense. She's still someone that's gonna get played, I think, in the higher levels of rank play. Probably not as much as like the pro play, and she has a really good win rate because of her defensive capabilities and her ability to go against these dive hitters that are pretty dominant right now in terms of the ranked play, and like Psylocke, for example. Because and there's punishment just because if they don't pay attention where they're going, they're getting cooked. And they can't dive when those mines are there. But the nest isn't hard to kill with like a normal kill. These normal characters, it's really easy to deal with for the most part. But again, if you're playing against brain dead idiots, they're just gonna run in there and die. So she's in B tier, but she's still really good. I think she should still get ran and ranked for defense because you're running runs against some dummies. You might as well get the free kills and free damage to protect your healers. Might as well. So, have her in B tier. For now, if they buff her auto, it could be A tier, like no problem. Because like her actual like auto or like her main method of damage just is not like it's really lacking from the likes of her character. And she does have a shield and stuff like that, or like she's a shield and heal, self heal, which is nice, but it's not like noticeable enough to move her up to A tier. She's not out dueling most of these tanks. Or killing him in a quick enough time where it's efficient. That's the other thing. Unless without her mines. But yeah, so she's there for now. But again, I wouldn't let this role. I wouldn't let dissuade you. Honestly, I would have her over Scarlet. And actually Iron Fist. So this is like where I probably have the 8 tiers. Where like honestly, you'd be better off playing Penny instead of some of the other three in a certain rank. Now in the low ranks, maybe running this, but honestly, you should be better off playing Penny Parker. You can get more value. My fault. So we're gonna go ahead and then get to the real low, down and dirty characters, the real trash. So honestly, I'm not even going into it. I'm just gonna start going down the list because these players are buns. D tier. What does she do? I have never seen a Black Widow take over a game. If you have, you're lying. If you say in the comments you have, you're a liar and you're a fraud. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Because I've never seen one. I swear, we had one on one game. I've had one game with a Black Widow in like 2 weeks. And this man literally sat there in the back, sniping, didn't get one kill. I didn't see one kill. Not one thing on the kill feed. Not finishing up. So what is the point of a sniper if they can't finish off a kill? There's no point. Yeah, she has a close-in ability with her AR or whatever it's called. But why are we running that? Explain. Why would you run that? Because you're just trolling at that point. You're throwing games automatically. Because guess what? If you're gonna run that, you might as well you'd be better off just rolling Hawkeye and running up with the bow. You'd be better off running up with the bow. You're gonna get more kills that way, honestly, than running with Scarlet Witch up front. You're gonna get out duel here. There's not one person she out duels. I don't think there's one person on this list. I'm trying to think. Nope. Actually, nope. This is true. Nope. That's what's crazy. Nope, definitely not. God, if you get outdueled by Magic, if you get any characters get outdueled by Black Widow, you might as well turn off. You might as well uninstall the game. Uninstall. Period. That's it. The best chance you maybe have is against Scarlet Witch, because if that's if the person doesn't use their stun, doesn't do nothing, just holds RT down. That's the only time maybe you have a chance. I mean a chance. It better be headshots only. And she's joined by her fellow Wave 1, Day 1 Avenger, Captain America. This man is probably the worst character in the game. He is the worst character in the game. I will die on that hill because he provides nothing to the team. He's a bruiser that is not a bruiser. He can't bruise for a damn. He will not survive by himself in the back line. Now, when he's paired up with Thor, he's bearable because of the Thor. He has that little bit of damage from the electricity. But realistically, what are we doing here? If you're running Captain America, you must be the most patriotic person. Has a flag tethered across their chest. Boy has only flags hanging up on in their room on all four corners to be running Captain America. He's also a boring character. His moveset is boring. He's not even the best at what he does, and that's when his cooldowns are egregious. So you literally have to sit there in a waiting room after you use all your abilities. You might as well sit in a waiting room and wait. You won't kill a single person doing that. You will not kill a single person. Not to mention, most people that play Cap are usually brain dead because they usually just go dive in. I'm not saying everybody is. There's probably some elite player I've yet to see from Captain America. But I'm telling you right now, this man needs a rework. He won't get one. Because guess what? If you buff him, he's gonna be broken. Because for some reason he's gonna be broken. I can just feel it. You can just feel it. That's gonna be the character they're gonna overtune, and he's gonna be out here looking like a. I'm trying to think of the most prime character in ever. I'm trying to think of prime like a rush down character from like Overwatch or something. In your face. I'm trying to think like maybe like a Junker Queen or something. No, like Roadhog. Yeah, like Roadhog. Roadhog. You know what? But he would just. There was one point in the game where he was just honging down folks with his machine gun. But he's gonna rush down. But you get that hook, you're cooked. You get hooked, you're cooked. And I feel like that's the kind of case with him where like I think they nerfed something with Roadhog and he became unusable. And his heal is ridiculous. So unless you give him a crazy heal, he ain't doing nothing. And his cooldowns are way too high. The dude is cooked. His character is cooked. He's never gonna be good in this game. He'll never be like relevant in this game. I think he's either gonna be too broken where he's gonna get banned immediately, or he's so trash he will not be played at all. You'll never see him play the light of day. You'll never see him light of day on any pro scene. Not at all. He's also not important enough. He's not important enough to even care about, honestly. So he can stay there for all I care. He is. You might as well be running. There's so many other characters you could run. There's literally any other character you can run. You could run. Thing's not even out yet. You can run Thing. You can run Thing. You ain't even out yet. I'd rather you run Thing. I can already tell you right now. I'd rather you run Thing. I just know it. Squirrel Girl, C tier character. She's there. That's it. She's there. Has an ult that's annoying. It's stupid. I've been killed by it. You've been killed by it. It's super avoidable. I've been killed by it. I'll admit it. It has gotten me a few times. I have seen some Squirrel Girls pop off. She does okay damage. But are we really gonna run Squirrel Girl when all these other options are here? Look at how little duelists are in like the lower part of this game. Look how low. We're talking like there's 3 duelists. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of them not even out yet. That is not an A tier. And then really, even realistically, B tier. And B tier is not usually characters are usually higher difficulty to use, not viable. So what are we doing here? You're running Squirrel Girl. If you're running Squirrel Girl, you're a gooner. That's it. You're only reason why you run Squirrel Girl is because you're a gooner. That's it. That's the only reason why you run Squirrel Girl. That is it. The character is dumb. Squirrel Girl is a dumb character. I'm sorry, and it's gonna cause people to be mad. The character is dumb. Power of squirrels and shooting acorns. What are we doing? I I get it. This is like superheroes. Nothing is real, but this is just unbelievable. Why would they release this character? Start with the initial wave. She should have been like season 4. But people would be gooning anyway or something else. So you might as well wait until you maybe need some more gooning to happen to keep your game alive and bring in Squirrel Girl. Brings me to, unfortunately, also S tier, Storm. Storm does get ran and ranked, but I think they get kind of ran hand in hand. I think you're gonna see better Storm play because of her ultimate is better. Now she's still trash. Don't get me wrong. If you're running Storm, unless you're the 1% Storm players, you are throwing. You deserve to not be fertile. You can't reproduce. I'm sorry. You cannot. You're not allowed. You should not be allowed to interact with society. if you're running Storm, you're not one of the 1% Storms that are actually really good. Because you have to hit everybody. It's projectile ability, so it's hard to hit. It's slow too, so it's hard to hit already. She's slow. Her damage boost and her movement boost, or if you lower to the ground, so her ability to be up high is not really a benefit to her and her kit at all. So the benefit of being high is for her to be harder to hit doesn't even exist. If you're flying up high with Storm, you better be the most efficient motherfucker in the game, because you're gonna be getting clapped by any of these other characters. You have to basically hug like a tower or whatever to keep dodging in and out of. That is some trash gameplay. I don't know how you can sit there and play Storm and play like that. That is boring. That is boring. I'm not gonna lie. I play Storm. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not 1%. I'm throwing. If I'm playing Storm, you know I'm not serious. You know I'm not providing the best. You should expect to lose if I'm running Storm. But I wanted to get my get back with Storm. So if you see me out there, you know why I'm running Storm. You will see it. But I will quickly change off Storm in the quickest second, because she is trash. Because again, she can be outdueled by basically everybody here. Besides, maybe honestly, over Squirrel Girl. Because Squirrel Girl ability is hard as hell to hit if your character is flying. That's part of the problem. So what are we doing here, folks? Like, yeah, you have no excuse to be running Squirrel Girl 2025. You have no excuse. You cannot be running this. You shouldn't be running either of these two. This should be not runnable. I should be changing this to not runnable. Unless you're him. Like, that's basically it. Unless you're him, unless you're that guy, you should not be running either of these two characters. And if not, you should be honestly called slurs. If you're running these two characters in ranked, especially in the high levels, you should be called slurs. Or if you're costing your team, I shouldn't think you think of a slur. I can't say it. I don't want to get us demonetized or get us any kind of flag. But just know I said it to you. Whatever slur you want, just imagine it. And you're in my game, yeah, you're cut, buddy. Alright, so that's our list for end of season 1. I'm going to project out where these other 4 will be when season 1 drops. Again, I don't know if they're dropping all 4 at once. I think they are, but I've seen the league again doing 2 and 2, which is stupid, because you're going to showcase all the characters. Why would you just release 2 of them? That is, to me, like you're blue ballsing your fan base here. A game that requires to have heroes, and you have so many heroes to choose from. There is like hundreds, essentially, of characters you can run, because they're going to be running also alternates these characters. So it's not even like skins. You have basically, you're going to have whole unique kits for all these characters. You have so many characters that have already been leaked, they're already in the data, and that have been pulled from the data miners, because they just got it like that. That you might as well just release the 4 together. And if Ultron, at one point, there was a rumor I saw that Ultron 2 Rant was supposed to be dropped in season 0, but didn't, because he didn't finish his kit. You might as well drop him in season 1. You cannot have enough heroes. I don't care if some of it isn't like they're not broken or not. You can like do patches later on to bring them in the game, but this game will only be sustained by just putting these characters in the game. I'm telling you right now, if you put 2 of these characters and 2 of these characters are trash, the first 2 you put in are trash, you're making the game boring for a whole basically season, and you're basically making the game stale for at least half a season until hopefully those other 2 characters are good. Because here's the thing, if you use all 4 characters, there's no way all 4 are going to be trash. At least 1 or 2 will change the meta slightly, or change this tier list slightly. The chances of the 2, there's a chance that both of them might be trash. Because I'm telling you right now, Johnny Storm ain't looking hot, folk. He's already here, in my opinion. He got the same damn kit basically as Storm and Hela, and he is not him. Unless his damage is ridiculous on his autos. And his flame wall thing, where it looks like if you have a flame wall setup to basically either surround your opponents or to attach them, that's where most of his damage is going to be. That sounds really annoying to have to set up and do. I will not be partaking in that. And I'm not doing it. And he looks like he's going to be trash. He's going to have a dash, but that's it. His kit is very simple. He's either going to be like Hela, which is a simple kit, or it's Hawkeye, and just have crazy auto damage. And that's mainly what you're going to be using anyway, because they have other abilities. Like, Hela has another ability you can use for damage, but you don't really need to. You just auto. So, yeah. Same thing here. So, he's either going to be here or here. There's no in between. There's not in between. There's no, especially when the bursts and these 2 happen, he's either going to be here or here. There's no in between. I'll be baffled if I found a way to keep him balanced at A. I think A is really healthy for the character. A is very healthy. So your characters are keeping the game fresh while not making it like unbearable. You have to ban these characters. You usually have to ban these characters. You have to ban one of them at least. In my opinion, you have to ban one. You can't just, or really, ideally ban all of them. You can ban them. You can ban 4. But if you could on a dream day, you'd banning all 4. Obviously, if you don't deal with certain ones, you'll ban some of you guys on hate. This is what keeps the game fresh right here. The more A tiers, the better. He is going to be either, again, C tier or S tier. There will be no in between. Just want to remember that. And if he is trash and you're running him because you're ignorant and you've been wanting to wait for the contestant 4, you know what? Fuck you and your family. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to run with trash hella. I'm not trying to run trash hella or it's just a fire version of Storm. And guess what? They're gonna have a power up together, and bro, that is trash. Because you're gonna have a trash character and a trash character. What are we doing here? You're running trash with trash. There's not even one of these characters gonna be good. If both of them are trash, you're gonna have one. You're gonna have a team up that's of 2 trash characters. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. Anyway, the different tactic is gonna be A tier. Well. I really want to put him in a S tier because I like his kit. I think his kit can be really good. If he's like tanky, he's gonna be a real good bruiser. But he's also gonna have ability to shield, which I think is what like Venom lacks, and maybe like Hulk would lack. And he has like and I don't know if he can like he's gonna be able to absorb damage. It depends on how his hitbox is with that ability, because I don't really know how it looks yet. But if he can expand his body, people can get behind that, and you're also able to release that damage back. That is almost more useful than the Magneto. Not to mention he has several ways to knock up people as well, and he has a yank, which I guess isn't a full pull, but it's gonna pull people out of position enough where you can get a pick maybe with some of these characters. I mean, come on now. I think he'd be S tier. He could very easily be, I think, at minimum A tier. At minimum, he's not situational like these 5. He's like he's B tier. He's gonna be a guy you're gonna run. Maybe not like as good as Thor or whatever, but to me, I think he might be S tier. I have not seen Thing's gameplay yet. We're gonna put him. He can't be this bad. It is going to be hard to be this bad. It is going to be impossibly hard, dude. It would be an act of God to be this bad for any other character. Because the bar is just so low. Like, I don't see Black Widow ran at all. I see Capgate ran because of my dumb. Actually, one of the fellow combo kings, Vegas, he tries to run Cap. He's throwing. Just know that he is throwing. He is not effective. He does little damage. I think the most I've seen for a Cap is like 7K. 7. That's a really good like, performance from Cap in my opinion. So he can't be. Thing came worse than that. I think he'll probably finish somewhere maybe minimum B. My only worry is he's not going to be as mobile, so he's going to be basically almost like an anti-dive tank, kind of similar to Penny. But at the very least, he's going to be able to help protect the healers. So if you're going to run Thing, I'm just assuming they're going to make him like not have like a really big lead or anything like that, but somebody who's just really strong, sturdy, and can protect his back line from these divers, but also have decent damage as well when it gets him. Oh my god, excuse me, I'm disgusting. Damage. But I haven't seen this kit yet. I haven't seen the leak yet either for it. Sue, I think, is also in a similar case of Mr. Fantastic, which is funny because they're lovers. Yeah, either way, I think she's gonna be A or S. Her ultimate, it depends on how her ultimate is, because I think what makes these two like S tier is that they don't really lose anything from like having to heal, but also their ults are just by far better, and her ult is also a mass heal. So I don't know if it's like overtime heal or just a straight burst heal. Basically, it's like a burst, it's like an overtime heal. But if it's like a super nice like, AOE heal that is like, because this one's like a short amount of time, it's a thin like line. If this is an AOE. AOE is always king when it comes to like that way you don't have to worry about aiming anything, or being like strategic with the placement in a lot of ways. And her not to mention she's a knockback. She has ability to go invisible, so make sure she has probably better survivability than most of these other tanks. Maybe besides low looking, actually really good survivability as well in Rocket. But she also has a way to protect other allies as well, shields, not even healing them. So she has a lot of versatility already based off that kit. I need to see an action because obviously I don't know like the her heal damage. She also has like, her autos to heal as well, so she can already heal consistently outside of her abilities, unlike Adam Warlock. So I think she seems like she has like everything in her kit. So I think those two are gonna be potentially S tier. I think these are either A tier or S tier characters, and then you're really kind of just rolling the dice on these two right here because I don't know. I think these are the floors for these two. Floors are these two. You just can't be this bad. You can't be. They can't be worse than these two characters. If I come out right now, if I have to battle somebody, it's gonna be old Johnny here. I'm telling you. And I hear what the worst part is gonna be. The Johnny players are gonna be real egregious with it too. They're gonna be sick fucks. Let me running this character with Storm. And that buff for Storm better be crazy, because she's getting a buff. She is getting a buff. Squirrel Girl is not getting a buff. That buff is nice, then he might just move up by default with Storm, because it makes her ultimate better. By default. But his kit just looks lackluster. Unless he has a crater auto damage, like these two, his skill shot, his like skill abilities don't seem as beneficial. It makes him like a harder to hit, maybe harder to hit Storm right now. That's what it seems like. Maybe even with a little bit more damage because he has that flame. I guess that flame field works to really grasp it. But oh my god, if Storm is good, he'll be up there maybe in B. Just because if you're gonna want to maybe run Storm has a good ult. So if she can have that ult slot improved even more, it makes her more viable. Like automatically, honestly, I might just move her up to B for that reason right now. Thinking about it, because I'm like, yeah, you should be real sicko. You shouldn't still run Storm, but like the buff's happening for season 1, so this is like I'm basically just projecting out for season 1 in this case, because I'm seeing the buff stuff, and because of that, and because of his ability to up her ult, it's already really solid. It's gonna make her better. And I'm just gonna put it right here because why not? It's my list. He'll still stay here. He's not going anywhere right now. He's not going anywhere. She will never go anywhere. She's staying right there unless they give her some crazy buff, which I can see that happening. There's some real gooners that work on games. Some real gooners are working on. I guarantee you the reason why she made it into the game is one of the people on the board was a straight gooner. That dude was drooling. Put her in the game. Drooling. You tell me they didn't want to put Daredevil, Blade, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, or even Danny Rand Iron Fist over Squirrel Girl, bro? Come on. Come on. She made it in over a lot of characters. Like Captain Marvel. Like, what are we doing? Honestly, Peggy Carter could have been this game over Squirrel Girl. Honestly, should have been probably. Maybe that would make Captain America. Maybe that'll make Cap good. Is the Peggy Carter team up? But let me know think of the tier list below in the comments. Sorry, it's another long video. These are just not quick videos to make. I'm not gonna cut it up because I like to give you all the raw, unedited video with my disgusting coughs in between, and my obviously occasional bits of rage in this talking about some of these characters. Because I'm telling you right now, there's some of these characters that just set me ablaze. They set me ablaze, and sometimes not even about me facing against a character. It's just about me having that person on my team. There's been some pain with Storm recently. There's been some pain with Squirrel Girl, that idiot that ran Black Widow. Like, anyway, put it in the comment section. I'll probably do another. My fault. There it is. Another tier list video. Probably sometime after season 1. I'm not sure, like maybe a week or so. Like I kind of did the other one, like waited like a week or so before I did the tier list. I have a lot of stuff coming up as far as work and travel, so it's gonna be kind of harder for me to do, especially because like dropping the 10th and I have like work. I gotta go to get some stuff for my apartment as my lease is ending, so it's gonna be interesting. But I'm trying to get in about a week and a half of season 1 being out. It is Dracula thing, which I think is really cool. Love Dracula. I want to see what the new map is gonna be. Let me know if you guys want us to do more like gameplay, like ranked. We've been running a lot of ranked, and I can record it. I just usually don't, because whenever I run gameplay and I start recording it on OBS, your boy be putting up some seriously Ben Simmons level numbers. But when I'm off, man, gonna call me Kobe or LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Michael Jordan, 23. You heard of him? But to my point. But again, I'm willing to record some gameplay. Maybe if I can get 1 or 2 scenes out there. I really probably should do more like how to play characters. I don't think I see a ton of those straight up. There probably is. I don't really Google that. But I see a lot more like those little short reels. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more gameplay. Definitely do that for you guys. And do more streams. I know we did our stream before. None of y'all showed up. You're fake. You're fake for that. If you did, you popped in for like a second. You should have stayed on. No, we did have difficulties with the stream, but hopefully we get that ironed out for the next stream. Again, comment, like, subscribe, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I think I hit it on the T. I think I nailed this list. I think this is the list. A lot of people say that, but this is the list. If anyone else says it, they're wrong. If anyone has anybody here in A tier, they're wrong. Because these are niche characters. They do A tier damage, but the level of skill required and the ability to just lock these characters down, not worth it. Even though I run Black Panther, I'm finally kind of getting a grasp on him. I had him like at one point sitting to rework. I was wrong. He's fine, honestly. He's good where he's at. Doesn't need the buff, nothing else. Maybe like a little lower on the cooldown, but he'd be basically for S tier if he that you lower his cooldowns. So anyway, definitely went well over what I was gonna stop the video, but here we go. See ya.